Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you today about the latest piece of antique furniture I've incorporated into my sewing studio. It is for my pressing station, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But first, I wanted to share some exciting news. I announced on Instagram a couple weeks ago we are expecting baby number 5, and so I'm kind of adjusting to that and going ever so slightly slower, not much. But sometimes there'll be videos and sometimes there won't be. I am hoping to get a lot more. I am about 14 weeks along, so in that second trimester glory, although I can say this has been one of my easiest pregnancies thus far. So let me go ahead and flip the camera around. You can see it's snowing again today, which makes me really happy. I absolutely love the snow and I love being home when it's snowing. Let's go ahead and get started here. So here is the pressing station. I found this at an antique store in Indiana, and it was advertised as a sewing thread cabinet. Turns out it's actually an old writing desk, but when I saw that it could be a sewing thread cabinet, I immediately loved that. But I liked that it had this flat desktop for a pressing station. I have normally pressed on my desk, and I've done that for years, and it's been fine, except I had kind of the smaller wool mat, and so when I wanted to do backs, it was pretty hard. Of course, I could pull out the ironing board, but I often found myself too lazy to do that. So when I got this, I was able to, or actually before I purchased it, I was able to look online what size of mats. This is the next size up. It's like 17 inches by 24 inches, and it fits perfectly on top. Now I know at some point this probably had a leather top. They've just stained it to match now, but I think that is fine. The idea with this is that when I'm not pressing, I can actually lift up the top and store this inside, which I just loved that idea of being able to tuck it all the way. The iron, I haven't quite figured that out. I'm hesitant to put holes in the side, but really I could do that. I could put an iron hanger on the side there. I could also, I guess, put it on the wall, and then that way this area is just totally clear. But it has been wonderful having it here. So for reference, right here's my design wall. My sewing desk is to my right, and then here is the pressing station. As you can see, the view is amazing. So I've loved having that when I'm ironing a lot of things or pressing. I can just look outside. That'll be even better in the summertime. The thing that I love about this cabinet is that it's not just a pressing station, because I had been looking for a pressing station or something that could be used as that for quite a long time. But this had drawers, and they just so happened to be perfectly sized for thread. As you can see, I have an Aurifil collection going here, and then I have some basics as well, whites, and then some other colors that I have. In the next drawer, quilter's clapper, and then the little refill for my Oliso iron. So perfect handy storage for these items. Over here, I have more of the colored threads that I've accumulated from the years at Joann Fabrics. And so those are right there, easy access as well. In this one, I have my sewing feet. So I have the Janome feet organizer, and then these are the sewing feet for my other machine, my older brother, that I keep for my little girl, and my spoolies as well. So it's all right here, and I love that I can keep it together. Let me go ahead and open this up and show you. So this was the original size I had on my desk, and then I used it on here for a while, and I was waiting to try and find the next larger size. So my Sewing Barn Quilt Shop sent me this one to go ahead and try out, and it was the perfect size that I wanted because it also tucks inside. It has been such a game changer having this extra little bit, because when you think about it, it's like the iron can fit there, and then you can have all this area to lay out your fabric and things. So when I take it off, this is what it looks like. And I know I get a lot of questions and comments on Instagram about how it could ruin the wood. That's never happened to me. I have never had my wool mat, either of them, swept through, get damp in any way. The top does when you use steam or if you spray. It will have like that wool smell because it is sheep. And it just doesn't do that for me. I don't know what brands the other persons might be using. I know that I have purchased both of my wool mats from quilt shops. And in this case, you know, my sewing barn is a quilt shop and they gave this one to me and it's been just the same quality. Never have had a problem with it making this damp. The other thing is that my cutting desk or my sewing desk where I have had the wool mat is also solid wood and I have sealed it. So I don't know if that is part of it, if that's why it's been protected, but I have used my cutting mat or my pressing mat, sorry, on there well over a year. My prior desk was also solid wood, and again, I sealed it. I have used that one, it was well over 2 years with a wool mat. So I haven't had a problem. I can't speak to that or comment on anyone else's experience with that. But here's what the inside looks like. And look at that. What a fit this mat is. This was such a smart idea on the antique shop owners because she labeled it sewing desk or sewing thread sewing cabinet, and I never would have seen it that way. I thought it was a cool piece and I was curious like what it was. I didn't realize it was an old writing desk, but when I looked at the tag and I saw thread cabinet, I was like, oh, this could double as a thread cabinet and a pressing station. So I can just flip it closed there and it's nice and clean. I have the windowsill right there, so I've been able to put my spray bottle in there, but honestly, I probably could even just fit it in the back side here. So this is 4 legs. It's super sturdy. Some of these pieces I've seen might be a little rickety. This one is solid as can be. And then I loved the brass detailed handles on there with a little star and then this kind of, I don't know what they are, rosette or just circle detail cutouts. It really adds to the charm. And then it just so happened to be the exact same color as my cutting desk. So my sewing desk and my cutting desk actually. So it all blends together really well. So here's what my sewing desk looks like with that. It all just kind of blends. I like that the legs were pretty similar. These were turned. Obviously this is a little bit more casual than that, but it still has repeating elements like this turn cuff, and then the brass hardware. I hope to find some brass hardware to put in here. I had ordered some on Etsy and they don't close properly for these ones, so still working on that. But it's these little details I think that make my sewing room more like me, because I wanted it to feel like furniture. I wanted it to feel like a place that wasn't crafty per se, since it's so open. I wanted it to reflect my home decor style, and adding antiques is one way that I have been able to do that.